official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life and learn together. And what we're talking about today is how can we progress through mistakes and turn losses into lessons. So with me today is our Jeff and Maricel. So we're going to dive right into it. I'm looking at the clock and I know we have so much to say about this topic because we have so much wisdom through all of our years put together. So just to start the conversation. So failure is often seen as a setback, but many leaders and innovators recognize it as an essential step toward growth. So the idea of failing forward emphasizes that mistakes, when approached with reflection and resilience, two R words, can open doors to new opportunities and deeper insights. All right, so let's start off very simply. What does failing forward mean to you, Maricel? She's muted. Okay, we're having some technical issues. I know we're trying some new equipment today. So, Jeff, what does failing forward mean to you personally?
Well, on a larger scale, it's like when you fall, you can either fall on your bottom, or you can fall forward onto your hands, and that puts you in a position to crawl and then get back up very quickly. But personally, having been through life, these hairs don't become white for no reason. There's so many things that cause. Yeah.
So it's not just genetic. Okay, I agree. Failing forward is another way to say turn your mistakes or your losses into lessons, right? To help you succeed. So that's a simple one. All right, now can you share a time when you experienced failure and how it helped shape your future, Jeff? Or well, if Maricel's back, Maricel, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm
Yay!
back.
All right, you're back. Awesome. Okay, great. So we're on the second question. Can you share a time when you experienced failure and how it helped your future success? Just to tease a little bit, at the beginning of our INCRadio journey together, Maricel, you were not very tech savvy, but here you are, fixed your own audio issues. So it's a small failure that finally
wins too.
yeah, exactly. All right, so do you have can you share a time with us when you experienced failure and how it helped your future success?
Yes, the very important experience I have learned in the past was when I joined a networking business. Networking business. I don't know if you guys joined one before, but if you know how they have a very good seminars and personal development. They always have that. So even if I failed in that business, I still feel like I was successful in joining that because I have learned so much. Like the mindset about finances that I have learned from that company has totally changed the way I look at money nowadays. So I don't feel like it was a failure, even if my business didn't succeed, but I still consider that as a success. So just learning from, I don't consider it as a mistake. I consider it as lessons to be learned.
Yeah, no, failure is one of the best educators. That's also something that what people say about failure. What about you, Jeff? Any
Yeah.
experience?
Oh, lots of experience. Because anyone who has ever been on a job interview, anyone who's ever had to interview several times will know, sometimes you just bomb an interview. And also same thing at work, if you've ever been fired or laid off, and you know how that really feels like failure. So, and it's happened so many times. My career's full of that. One of the ones that sticks out most and first is my actually first interview when I bombed the interview. I tried to be enthusiastic, but I wasn't prepared. So that let me know, hey, I got to do my homework, and I got to do my homework even about myself. I have to know what my accomplishments are, how to put them, how to tie that in with the company, and same thing at work. The things that we're working on, make sure that we tie it to something else and tie it to a some way to generate value or benefit to someone else because it's not just about us. And just like Marisol said, that's what you learn. You learn that it's not about you, and you can only work on yourself and make sure that you prepare.
Yeah, Jeff, you bring up a good point. Layoffs and well, getting fired and being laid off, those are two different things. But sometimes getting laid off is not even in your control. Like it was not based on your behavior. It's something that the company decided. And sometimes there are those circumstances that are not within our control. All right. But even if it wasn't a personal failure, you still feel that disappointment and that you were lacking in something because they didn't keep you. Um, so that still is like yeah, the feeling of failure, but also to recognize what could you have done. I
Hmm.
think that's a lot of things when you feel like you failed, like what could I have done differently. You go through a lot of reflection. So bring us to our next question. How does your faith help you stay motivated when things don't go as planned? We're going to start with Marisol. Oh, and we lost our audio.
Yeah, I'm here.
There you are.
So my faith immensely is really contributing on the way I look at failures, because even if you have that mindset of a good mindset of how to accept failures, but we're just humans, we're not bulletproof. So there are still times where you feel down, where you feel like I want to give up. But having as Christians, we having that Christian value to always believe in God, no matter how the trials, no matter how great the gravity of the failure is. If you have that faith in God, you'll always go back to looking at failures as a positive experience and not just letting it pull you down. So your faith, being Christians, it is the biggest factor of why we keep pushing on.
Very well said. I'm at a loss for words. Jeff, what about you? What's your take on this?
Oh, totally agree, Marisol. If you saw, I was like, I was giving thumbs up the whole time. And it's absolutely true because, as part of our faith, we do believe in the teachings of the Bible. And, the Bible is full of examples of those who either failed or went through those times. And for example, the book of Job is all about that. And, Job was also put in a situation that was outside of his control. And it took a while and he went through a lot. Like imagine what he went through. So, sometimes we are being tested, and we have to make sure that we pass those tests and stay and trust in the process. So, those are the things that we learn about in worship service. And also what's also great about our faith is not just us. It's everyone around us that can help so we can edify one another. We can help each other's faith. And in so, I find that helping others in their faith, it actually helps my faith. So
Yeah,
that's how it really helps.
you're both you both bring up such good points. Trusting the process, always coming back to God for strength and encouragement. I think some other people also like to call failures as a plot twist. But but in accordance with our faith, I think sometimes also people need to remember that when things don't go as planned, it's because God is redirecting you to something better. And if you believe that God's plans are better than your own, and you also believe in His timing, the pain of the pain of failure, whatever you're feeling, it will be much shorter, and I think less severe if you remember that. Could be a test, but it could also be, the path to something better. So, all right. So, how has failing forward influenced the way you approach risks and new challenges today? So, how do you turn setbacks into opportunities for growth? I know this is kind of a long question. I don't know if Marisol wrote an essay for her answer, but we are only at 11:11. So, if you have a lot to say, now's the time to say it, Marisol.
All
I
right.
know, and I know if you want to bring in your insights as a parent, feel free to include those as well.
Yeah, so this is a two-part question. So first, how do I turn setbacks into opportunities for growth? Well, if you look at setbacks as an opportunity to learn, how I turn it into opportunities is by reframing how you look at failure. So you view setbacks as learning experiences. They're not really dead ends. Like if you fail doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. And correlating it as a parent, I have two boys who's into sports and in school, and I always teach them, encourage them, and tell them that if something doesn't go their way, especially in their sports, like they didn't get what they want, I always tell them, look look back into what you did in the past that led you to it into this game. Maybe there were things that you did that the coach did note took notice of, and that's why you're having this kind of setback in this game. So always it's an opportunity for you to analyze what happened in the past and to use that as a learning experience and to change your ways, innovate and adapt to the failure and make some changes. And it has influenced the way we approach challenges today because it allows me to embrace uncertainty. Like when you know that there's a thing as failing forward, you know that you can go out of your comfort zone. You have calculated risk, we call it. Like that there are risks involved, but it's calculated. You have to weigh the pros and the cons. So having this kind of mindset influenced me by being a little braver, like get out of your comfort zone and know that you're gonna have failures along the way, but embrace the failure and learn from the failure. And um, you know it makes you resilient, knowing that if you have that growth mindset, you believe that setbacks are opportunities for learning and improvement.
That's so true. You become a little desensitized or used to, right, Jeff? I see you like enthusiastically giving thumbs up. So you can feel free to jump in. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You said you become like resilience is a way to say you become desensitized to. I don't say the pain ever goes away. It doesn't go away. It just becomes a little less, right, Jeff?
And the thing is, that you endured the pain. So every failure, especially, like Maricel said, it's not the end. So every failure that you endure is proof that you survived. One of my favorite series of movies has this quote that says, "But did you die?" Like, no, like, yeah, did someone else die? No, okay, then you survived it, and you can keep moving forward, and you learn. And it's a teacher, kind of like when you touch something hot, like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I remember when I was in my previous career, which was in chemistry. You know, there was glass, and if you don't know, hot glass looks exactly the same as cold glass.
Ooh.
And I learned that the hard way because I was heating something up. I touched the hot glass. It hurt. I got blisters, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that again.
Oh
But
no.
I survived that. But you learn from your mistakes and you learn from pain. And touching upon more recent examples, as being someone in tech, what we have is something called the agile mindset, where you keep on iterating, you find out what doesn't work, you learn from it, you apply that, and let it guide you moving forward towards something that'll actually work.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, well, you guys just said so many mic drops. Like there's so many broken mics around me. But what Marisol said about the world ending, it does feel that way, especially when you're younger. I feel like you feel things because you're less experienced, but the sun's gonna come up the next day, so that there's another tomorrow. Which where you can apply. Don't make exactly what you said, Jeff. Don't touch that glass. Although that sounds kind of scary. I didn't know that glass looked the same hot and cold. I was like, if it's hot, shouldn't it have like the evaporation or whatever condensation on the. Okay. All right. Last
Oh, I
question.
wish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. I don't want blisters. Okay. How do you encourage others to embrace mistakes as part of their journey? Not that we're encouraging people to, be callous and be not thoughtful about the decisions they're making, but if they do make mistakes, how do you encourage others to embrace those mistakes as part of their journey? I'm going to go to Marisol first.
Well, on a smaller scale, like just talking about my family, whenever we have failures, I always point it out to them. Like, see, this is what happened to our plan. It didn't end up well. So I pointed out to them so that they can see how we reacted to the problem, so that they too can practice the same reaction to a problem. So always setting us good examples and showing them how to react when there's failure. And I always send them, like, when I see videos or reels on social media, I always send it to them so that they learn from it. So I always encourage them to listen to positive videos, listen to positive reels, instead of just scrolling senselessly, in their social media. But I always send them, between me and Brian, we always send them positive videos so that they can learn from it.
That's so awesome. I know parents, other parents and families have group chats where they send positive memes and GIFs and quotes. What about you, Jeff? How do you encourage others to embrace mistakes as part of their journey?
Well, you embrace them and you let them know that, hey, I've been there before. I've experienced this and it's going to hurt right now in the short run, but you're not alone. You encourage people by letting them know you're not alone. Embrace them. We're here with you. If you're feeling that hurt, reach out, say something, and we're all here to support each other. So that's how yeah.
No, that is a great reminder, Jeff. Before I move on to our next segment, I only get the time. We should check in on those in our circle, but especially as Christians, especially in our Christian community, we have a built-in network where we can talk to people. And for people who think that no one else has gone through this before, like this is so intense and severe, you'd be surprised that other people have gone through exactly what you're going through, or even worse, and they have the best advice, and they have still the best outlook on better things to come. So, don't hold it in, share it, talk to someone about it, and just remember that better things are coming. Okay, we're gonna move on to our shout out segment. Let's see that bumper.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Happy birthday. Congratulations. I have to shout out.
Mom, dad, best friend.
All right, before I go to the panelists for their comments, to Team Live Chat, they have so much to say. I think we're going to have to devote like the first half of the next live show to all their comments. Between Naima, Eric Aralo, Tamara, and Sir Abigail, they have so much to say. So, but we're going to go to our panelists first for their comments, our shout outs. Go ahead, Marisol.
I just want to say hello to all the listeners, especially I see a lot of I see from the Winslow congregation. Thank you so much for watching, and you'll be surprised. We'll be announced here in a little bit. Like, we made it to the top. So thank you so much to everyone who's on the live chat. I appreciate you.
All right, before we move on to Jeff for his shout outs, I just want to say hello to Ronnie B out from Great Lakes. He's in our live chat today. And also, I believe we have someone from the Philippines, but I can't find his comment. So, okay, Jeff, your shout out.
Okay, got a bunch. We'll go through them quickly. So happy birthdays to Lani Blanco, Riva Gantala, Caitlin Paciente, Alphonse Lucas over in the Philippines, Empress Varai, Gigi Aligar, Leia Orbe, Beng Palacio, Christina Afinada, and happy birthday to our very own Berks, I believe, Marisol Dagatot, and good luck to Grace Evangelista on your competition today.
Yes, we're cheering for you. All right, next segment, tossing it over to Marisol.
All right, so the next segment is the audience spotlight, which is we're spotlighting the most active local congregation. So for the show on September 6th, we have honorable mention, Winslow, woo woo! Third place, we have Bayonne. Second place, we have Philadelphia. And first place, we have Aston. And for the show on September 13, honorable mention goes to Aston. Third place goes to Bayonne. Second place goes to Elizabeth. And first place, unbelievable. It's been a while, Winslow. So congratulations, Winslow, first place. I really want to say thank you to Brother Eric Orales, since he's been sharing the link to, I think she's sharing it to the leadership group. We've been very active. So thank you so much. Special shout out to Brother Eric Orale, and I see Brother Jeff Gingab is also on the show. All right, thank you so much. And our next segment is activity update. So we only have one activity to be announced, which is tomorrow, it's September 21st. We have District Binhi Arts and Crafts activity, which will be held in Elizabeth Chapel Function Hall. So to all our Binhi brethren, please come and join this district activity. And also, as always, please check with your local congregation for details on local events and the daily Bible study schedule. And up next, we're going to have a longer CFO in action.
CFO in action.
The booklet organization gathered for their monthly meeting filled with warmth and camaraderie as they celebrated life's special moments together. They took a moment to recognize birthday celebrants and couples marking their wedding anniversaries, showering them with love and well wishes. The agenda also included activity reminders, keeping everyone informed and engaged. The Kadeo Brethren also had their monthly meeting last week. The highlight of the meeting was a thoughtful discussion on the importance of watching INCRadio programs which promote valuable life lessons and spiritual growth. By tuning into these inspiring broadcasts, members can deepen their understanding of faith, family, and community, ultimately enriching their personal lives and relationships. This shared commitment to spiritual growth and development strengthens the bonds within the organization, fostering a supportive and loving community. The local congregation of Aston recently gathered for a fun-filled day of mini golf at a nearby course. Members of all ages participated, enjoying friendly competition. This gave everyone a chance to connect, have fun, and foster a stronger sense of community. Some players aimed for that perfect hole-in-one, while others just enjoyed the challenge of tricky obstacles. Players cheered each other on, making every putt feel like a victory. The brethren left the course with smiles and laughter, reminded that fellowship and faith go hand in hand. Brethren from Philadelphia congregation of the Iglesianicristo recently gathered for a fun-filled evening of fellowship and friendly competition at a local bowling alley. The event aimed to strengthen bonds among brethren while promoting unity and camaraderie. Amidst laughter and cheers, participants of all skill levels engaged in lively matches, showcasing teamwork and sportsmanship. The evening highlighted the importance of balancing spiritual growth with recreational activities, fostering a sense of community and togetherness outside of worship services. Music is one of the best ways for people to unite and to inspire listeners through musical presentation and messages portrayed through the music they listen to. In line with this, the Brethren in the District of New Jersey recently held a District Band Together activity where brethren were able to showcase their musical talents through the presentations of INC original music. Brethren, along with guests, participated at the Burlington Amphitheater in West Hampton, New Jersey to participate in this activity. Through such performances, brethren and guests truly felt the love of God as the music presented in the musical evangelical not only inspired the hearts of the brethren, but also inspired and encouraged guests in attendance to know more about the Church of Christ. Activities such as Band Together continue to help edify the faith of the brethren while also providing an outlet for them to share their faith with friends and loved ones. Led by District Minister Brother Alan Fernandez, the District of New Jersey continues to be thankful to the church administration for activities that allow the brethren to express their faith, love, and hope through music. This was our CFO in action over the past week. From the District of New Jersey, this is Brother Jeffrey Fernandez. We'll have more on the CFO in action next week. See ya!
That was Marisol. Wasn't that so awesome? Especially the band together. That was so much fun. So much
That was,
talent there.
yes, that was so much fun.
Yeah. And actually, a shout out to Jeff Dote and Jeff Gingub for reviewing. I know it's important that we let you know that we show our appreciation for all that you do, Paul. And Marisol, I think that's it for today's show. So thanks again to everyone who was able to view and listen on today's show. If you found value in today's discussion in terms of failing forward and figuring out how to chart the path forward, taking a breath, taking a pause, reflecting, and moving onwards, we hope you that we you enjoyed it and were able to share this with someone else. So please like and subscribe for more content like this. If you think this episode would be helpful to someone you know, please help and share the link with them. And if there's a topic you'd like to hear about or want to join in, feel free to join us. Before we go, we'd like to thank our church administration for their continuous support to INC Radio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together. We want to acknowledge our district supervising minister, Brother Alan P. Fernandez, our assistant district Supervising Minister, Brother Ruben Bustos Jr., our Christian Family Organization Overseer, Brother Royal Moline, and our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother Timothy James Malabanan.
But we especially thank our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo. We'd also like to thank our INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Taray, and our techs in the main studio. And before we say goodbye, we again thank all of our viewers for taking the time to watch this episode. See you on the next episode. Bye. Have a great weekend.